Hi, welcome to Maverick and Dempsey's Rundown. Okay, so we're not going to run down the entire NFL right now. The NFL is drunk. We don't know which teams are good, which teams are. Well, we know who's good. We know who's bad. We don't. There is nobody who's great. So it's really anyone's game right now. The Eagles look like $1 million. Now they fell off the wagon a little bit. Colts were 8-1, and they were strong and looking good. Now they're 8-5, and they might miss the playoffs. But we're not going to do the whole rundown. We're going to stick with that one. We're going to stick with the Colts. Okay, they're 8-5, and their quarterback Daniel Jones just got injured. Well, he was injured, and it affected his mobility. Now he's injured, out for the season, so he's injured again. Okay, and what did they do? They dug into their bag of tricks, or dug into the grave, and they dug up Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers, 44-year-old grandfather quarterback. I love the old guys. I root for the old guys, but it brings an interesting topic. What comebacks are you rooting for? Who would you like to see come back? Did you want to see Philip come back? Did you want to see another quarterback come back? Did you want to see another football player come back from any position? How about a basketball player, soccer player, golfer, boxer, pro wrestler, actor, actress? So that's what we're going to do is we're going to run down that. We're going to run down the comebacks we want to see. I like the old guys. I'm an older guy training for my own comeback in boxing. So what comebacks would you like to see? Okay. We'll start with football because that's what Philip is, football player. Who else do you want to see? Mine is quick to the point. All right. I'm sticking with quarterbacks. Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Drew, we need some help on the Saints. The Saints are absolute trash right now. You know he can do better than what they got. They're looking better after their last game. And I hope they stick with it. But at the same time, if Drew could come back, you know something. Even if not as a quarterback, as a mentor, as a offensive coordinator, a quarterback's coach, something. If Drew could come back, Brady, suit up and play again. You're retired when you can still play. Just suit up and play again. I don't want to see you as a coach. I don't want to see you as an owner of the Raiders. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see you suit up and play again. For football players, that's pretty much what I got. I think is just those two. And who do you have for football players, Dempsey?
I don't really have anyone for football players.
Nobody for football. What topic? What area were you focusing on with this topic?
Honestly, just stuff I'm interested in, like books and stuff.
Well, then spit it out.
Okay.
Oh, this is dead air.
Okay. So one of the ones I have is the book series Cities of Ghosts. It was a trilogy, and it ended like that. And I want to see more of the story. I want to see more of where it leads and goes, more development from the other characters. Because it felt like they built up to a certain character, but they didn't really go anywhere with him. And I would like to see them go somewhere with him. Another book series I have is Mermaid Saga. It was released in the 80s and 90s. It was a manga, and the creator of it hasn't really done anything with it since. The last thing they did with it was in the early 2000s with a 13-episode TV show, and it would be cool to get more of their story too.
All right. Well, I focused on many aspects of this topic. All right. It didn't go baseball or basketball. Not really that interested. Didn't go soccer. Landon Donovan, David Beckham, maybe. That'd be pretty cool. But how about pro wrestling? Charlie Haas of the World Greatest Tag Team, maybe reuniting with Shelton Benjamin. World Greatest Tag Team, take off again. Kurt Angle, he's a little too injured and all. Charlie Haas never really got to be what he could be. King of Old School, Steve Corino. ECW fans out there, he was a big deal. He never had a run in a major company. Would love to see that. Austin Aries, once again, never had a major run in a run in a major company. Tasted the major companies with WWE and TNA, but never got that major run, so he'd be a good one. Boxing, I'm the boxer, right? Who else would I like to see make a boxing comeback? Ricky Hatton would have been top of my list, and he was going to make a comeback this December. However, he passed away, so that's not going to happen. So who else could we look at? Joe Calzaghe and Carl Froch, both of them super middleweights. They both look like $1 million. Have definitely kept in shape. There's always that could they? I would love to see them come back and do something. Ruslan Provodnikov, welterweight. If you never seen him, look him up, Google him. The guy was just all action. Retired before he needed to. Michael Katsidis, same thing except a lightweight, but same thing could be said for him. Just all action fighter. TV. How about TV? Amanda Bynes, the actress. If you know anything about her, she's fallen off the wagon with life. I mean, drugs, alcohol, just gaining weight, mental health. I don't know. I don't know what all it entails, but you wish she would just get everything healthy again and come back. She was such a great little child actress, a teen actress. I even watched What I Like About You with my daughter. It's a great little show, great little actress. Wish something could happen with her. How about Anthony Clark? Anthony Clark was a stand-up comedian. He hosted Last Comic Standing. Before that, he was doing sitcoms. He did Boston Common, short, 2 seasons on NBC, but it was good. And then he had a good run for 6 seasons with Yes Dear with Mike O'Malley on CBS. I like to see Anthony Clark come back. He retired. I like to see him come back, get a sitcom, maybe revitalize Yes Dear. See that show come back. They're doing all these, reboots, revivals, etc. See Yes Dear come back with Anthony Clark and Mike O'Malley. That would be like top of my list. Shows that never got an ending. Brimstone with Peter Horton. Probably never heard of it. Google it, look it up. Brilliant, dark show that was on Fox way back in the day in the 90s. Quantum Leap. I'm sure if you're not familiar with it, you've heard of it. They had a reboot, but I want a continuation revival with the original Sam Beckett, played by Scott Bakula. We never got a proper ending. And Man with a Plan. Matt LeBlanc. Where's Matt LeBlanc's comeback? This guy was one of the biggest stars in the world on one of the biggest TV shows of all time, and he just walked out. He just stopped. Man with a Plan was the show that he said felt the most like him and he was most identifiable with, and it might even be the show he loved doing the most. So how about Man with a Plan? We get a 5th season on that one. So that's another show I'd like to see come back. All right? That pretty much ends it for my comebacks. Who would you like to see come back?
For TV shows, I want to see Kyle and Eric come back. It was a really good show, and it was funny, it kept you interested, and it only had 2 seasons, which really sucked.
Do you have anything else you want to see come back before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I want to see Drake Bell make a comeback to acting and English singing. The only songs he's been releasing are all in Spanish.
That's Drake Bell from Drake and Josh.
Yeah. And he hasn't done any acting in a while, and I like him, so he should do more.
How about John Stamos, Josh Peck's friend from Drake and Josh? Maybe he could have another show, make a comeback. Guns N' Roses already made a comeback, so we got that one. Creed's making a comeback. That's another good comeback. Bush making a comeback. Limp Bizkit. There's a lot of comebacks right now. I'm trying to think if there's any other musical ones I'd like to see come back. Journey, maybe with a new album. Steve Perry come back. How about Chicago with Peter Cetera? Chicago's out touring. What about Peter Cetera? So there's all kinds of places you could bring this in movies, music, sports. So give us a comment. Let us know what you think. What comebacks you want to see. Or who you want to see make a comeback. All right? Peace out. Maverick and Dempsey. Catch you later.